Okay, it says we are live, Al, so I guess we are live now. Man, I tell you, to be so far away, I think we've got the best connection, at least I've ever had here, to be able to do that. Good to see everybody in the chat. I see Greg Pittman, got Ray Kelly. Doc was actually in here first, and
Does he win a
Johnny
prize
Drone
tonight?
Flyer. I'm sorry?
We giving it a number one um, person or the first person in the chat a prize tonight. You know what? I feel like
Yeah,
doing that.
we're gonna give him a tip.
No,
I don't
I
know if we're
actually
gonna give
have
him
a
a tip on.
frame. I have a frame I'd love to give away to him.
Okay.
So, Doc, if you want a 3-inch uh, ducted little whoop, I'll send it your way, man. Let me see if I have it. Yeah, I do.
Doc, you better take it because if not, Maddie's gonna get it.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been. Oh, by the way, thank you for my shirt. Let me get it out of the way and I'll show it to you. Ready? There it is, right there.
All right.
So,
Yeah, you did get the long one, didn't you? I sent you the long sleeve, right?
yeah. You got me the long one. I just got myself hooked up on my on my
Boy,
cord here. I almost pulled the microphone right off the table.
Third Eye View,
Yeah.
you got your shirt, right? He's in the chat.
So we definitely have a lot of people. Drone Views Media's here. Chris is here. Maddie. And we got Chris with QC guy is here. So welcome everybody. Doc Murdoch's. Um, I'll shoot you an email and I'll get your address and I'll send that frame out your way. Actually bought 2 frames, but they gave me 3. I don't know why. It's classic, right? You either get an extra one or you don't get anything at all.
Well, I'll tell you what I did. Drones Views Media is all the way in Ireland. And this guy is online when he should be sleeping. And luckily, the hours I'm at, it's morning time here. I just had my coffee. So it makes it good because I can be in everybody's live stream and still have my life here. But speaking of Drones Views Media, I sent him the same shirt, Al, that you've got, but short sleeve. And then I sent him a World Drone Community shirt and I shipped it to Ireland. And he actually got it. So the numbers and letters and everything are a little different on how. So I was really crossing my fingers there, but I was exciting. And, I did that. And I'll be honest, it's not cheap to send international, but at least he'll be the only one in Ireland that's wearing the World Drone Community products.
I know, right? And I just yelled at him on the chat. I don't know if you can see it. I said, "Hello, hardcore drone dude."
Yeah. Well, it is hard for some people that are in different hours like that. I mean, luckily the way that our show goes, I mean, now I'm up in time to see Ray Kelly's show, which before was like my hour to get ready before the show. So it helps because I get up at like 5 in the morning here, which is 5 in the afternoon your time. So it's like works out perfect for me to be able to do that and hit everybody else's live stream and get back to actually
Okay.
giving some support.
Yeah, so along those lines, something weird thought came in my head as usual, Robbie, and it's all right for our older folks like me. We also like to get up early, so drop us a comment. And let us know what time you normally get up
Yeah,
during the week.
exactly.
I've been getting up like 5:30, 6 o'clock at the very latest lately, and I try to keep sleeping, but I can't.
Well, it's
But
easy for me now because she has to get up at 5 or 4:30 to get food ready for her daughter, and of course she makes my lunch, and that way when she goes to work, I've already had my breakfast, I've got my lunch, and I'm good until she comes home. So
well,
yesterday she left me with a donut box yesterday, and I got bored looking at the box and ate all the donuts, and she told me to protect the box. So I told her, honey, I got bored. The donuts are gone, but the box is still safe. I still have the box here. So last night she did a refill, and I got some extra donuts.
yeah, I'm interested to see what the weather is like in Louisiana. What's the weather like in Thailand right now, Robbie?
Right now it's like it's about 90 degrees. It's actually nice. We have a little bit of a breeze, and it's actually good weather here. We're just far enough out of the pollution ring in Bangkok because when you actually get in the Beckock Drive, like through the city where the buildings are, kind of like, downtown Richmond when you're on that bypass, it almost hits the building, down there where we fly.
Oh yeah, it's the old
Yeah.
train station. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's the way it is here. But when you start driving, you look up in the air and it looks like something out of the Matrix, just like yellow stuff floating. And it's all the pollution. The pollution's terrible in the main city. So each morning, everybody watches the news to find out what the pollution levels are, which I never paid any attention to those numbers until I was here. But we live far enough out that we don't get any of that pollution from there. And I'm glad we don't. So it's we're in a nice area here.
Good to hear. So, do they do the same, fuel mixture changes between, the city and the suburbs like they do here in the U.S.? Like, if you have a large metropolitan area in the United States, you have to sell low emission gas. But if you're in the rural areas, you don't have to. And so a lot of the truck stops are specifically put in counties that are low populations so
Right.
they can get the better price for that gas, because obviously
Right.
it takes more refinement to get
Sure.
that blend for the Washington DC's, LA.
Yeah. Most of the areas here that I've seen that have gas are like really, really big 7-Elevens. Nothing like back home where they're small. They're like a Sam's Club type deal, where they got the gas on the side. But when you pull up, they have this little thing. It looks like the little, the movie thing they do this with before they start the movies.
Yeah.
They've got one of these with suction cups. So when you pull up, they stick it on the hood of your car and they pump. You're not allowed to pump anything. They pump the gas. And, when we got here, when I first got here, she would borrow a little gas scooter from her sister that lives the next road over, and we'd get on it at like 6 a.m. and drive to the local little market, which is like a little flea market that they have everywhere here with all the food. And she was in such a rush to get the little scooter back to her brother-in-law because he needed it to go to work. So I took her and I said, okay, buy a scooter. So we have a scooter to go eat with and get what you want to get. So she picked out the scooter and we got it. And I had never ridden it. I know how to drive it, but my 210 pounds and her 98 pounds together, it kind of bottoms out when you hit a speed bump. So I told her she'll have to keep that one and I'll have to get a full-size motorcycle just to go to the market because I'm just too heavy for that with her on it.
Yeah, I tell you what. So I'm looking at his chat here, and it looks like Johnny's going to be going in for a procedure. So just want to. Am I misreading that, Robbie? Am I correct there? But wishing you the best, man.
Yeah,
good luck
absolutely.
with that. Yeah, I just went through one of those. I guess Friday, and all good. Got a clean bill of health. They did. The backdoor inspection and everything worked. So,
yeah, I had that done too. And I was a little scared at first because I noticed that when the doctor got through, he was missing a shoe. And I asked him if he needed to double check for anything. Did he leave anything foreign in there? And he assured me that he only wore one shoe to work. So I guess we're in good shape there.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about, how hard it is to try to live stream in U.S. time when you're in a different country. And obviously
Right.
You're in a different country. And you just, gave us the insight that it's 5 o'clock in the morning there, right?
Right.
And
It's
so
actually easy because, I usually don't go to sleep until really late. So I can the only time that I'm not online is going to be the time right after lunch, between lunch and 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And y'all are all busy working, doing things. So I don't really have to communicate with anybody. And that's the small window there that all I need for sleep. And other than that, I'm online. So it's, the biggest issue though, is when I was setting the live stream up for this, I was trying to set the time and it said it will not let you set it for earlier time than it is. Well, I can't set it 12 hours early for you guys. So I actually had to go in and change the time on the computer here in order to set that to do it. So that's why I was 10 minutes late because I just couldn't go backwards far enough to get to that point. So,
well, I think you need to start highlighting some of these streams here. Doc says he hates being violated. I totally agree. But The only good thing, Doc, is this propofol. Look it up, man. I went to sleep and I woke up rested and calm, like I had a really good nap. And then at the end of the day, they hand you this piece of paper and you read and you go, oh, cool. Clean bill of health, and you walk out, right? Not so lucky for one of my other neighbors down the street. So it just, it's kind of, and you could just imagine what the ladies go through all the time, Robbie, when they have to have their mammograms. So here
Absolutely.
we are crying and being babies about it. The ladies have to do it yearly, guys. So if you're not nurturing your wife's emotions for that, you should. I
Yeah,
know that
exactly.
I'm horrible about that, and so I've taken the initiative to be better at understanding some of those things, because now I've been on the receiving end a few times and I know what it's like. So, but anyway, enough of that.
Yeah, Johnny says, Robbie, give me the winning lottery numbers from Saturday night if you're 13 hours ahead. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah, and very, very good.
So,
Preston Charles, you ever heard of those two authors? They it was this anyway. The latest book he wrote, it was pretty good. And what it was is this lady figured out how to travel in time through a tunnel, but not actually go through it. Just kind of take a picture, and she took a 1 minute ahead of time picture of New York, right in Wall Street, and it was reading all the tickers. And this lady made purchases 1 minute ahead, knowing what the results were going to be,
right.
and just quietly stayed under the radar. It made hundreds of millions of dollars. Nobody knew it. And she was a very interesting character, but it's a great book. Talking about a great book, how's asking the audience? We have Christian Malika's book, FPV Flight Dynamics. Anybody been reading that, Doc? I know you like to fly FPV, and we have a Third Eye View here too. So, and then we got Mike Roche Media here. Uh, awesome guys,
We
Mikey.
got
Have you read the book?
Brad's here also. I see
Hey,
Brad.
Brad. Brad actually got the book. He won it at Spin Up. Did you have you been reading it? What chapter you're on, or what section are you on? So, Robbie, you've been flying your Mavic 3 yet? Tell us what the process is like to fly in Thailand. What do you have to do first prior to be able to fly?
I'm waiting on a paper.
Yep.
And you have to have the paper. So the way it works is you pay about $100 per drone, and you have to register the drone serial number, and then you have to buy liability insurance. When I was going through the process of getting the insurance, they sent me a little like a la carte, and it started off at like, I don't know, $20 to $40 to $80, and continued to go up. And you get extra features with what you pay for. So as I was reading, my girlfriend said, hey, you can get this one for like $25. And I said, well, honey, maybe I need the big one. And she goes, no. So I started reading the list, and it had in there like $500,000 liability. And then it said bail bond. And I said, I'll take the expensive one because I'm not going to jail over here. But they
Oh,
do. They make you register. And actually, when you buy a drone from DJI here in this country, they actually fill out the paperwork for you while you're there, and you actually pay it when you're buying your drone.
wow. Seriously?
And yeah, and I haven't noticed that much difference on the price difference of the drones. But I'll say this: the DJI goggles sell for 289 here, $289 in the
Dang.
store. The drones are the same, but the accessories, the batteries, the Air 2S batteries are about $25 cheaper here. So the drones are the same. All the accessories tend to be quite a bit cheaper here. So that's kind of good. I was trying to get the wide angle ND filter for the Mavic 3, and they didn't have it on DJI site, so they had it set up. So the one that came with this one. It looks like a little makeup bag, which is pretty cool. And this is the I think this is like the 4, 8, 16, and 32. And I mean, they're like really nice. The glass.
Yeah, it better be
So
nice glass, right? For that price.
yeah,
Awesome.
well, this one comes with it, and then this is the next one. So this takes from the 64 up, and if they're 100, I bought it from DJI. They're $180 for the four extras, and then they make the other one, the wide angle lens. Of course, it's $180 too. So they're stuck on $180 because I'm getting 4 here for 180, 4 here for 180, but the wide angle, it's just one lens is 180.
I know, but it's a very nice lens because it's got 2 of them, right?
Well, you know what, though? I really wish, because it's got the dual lens, I really
Uh-huh.
wish that it would have been set up to where you could have actually slid the ND and the upper and the lower both, because you're actually getting the same lens in both cameras there.
Exactly. Yeah. And how does
And
it
I
snap on
figured,
there? Is this
yeah,
pressure
and
fitted?
then I can just about guarantee you that one of these companies is going to actually do it. This is the backside. It's real similar to the Air 2S, the way it fits on,
Yeah.
where
You
it
want to
locks
enlarge
in.
it? You want to
Yeah,
enlarge your picture? Your
let me see if I can. Let me click on me first. Hold on. I'm trying to. There we go. So there's the front. My autofocus is taking over, guys. Sorry,
It's okay. Looks good, man.
but
Oh
they're.
yeah.
I mean, and they're like, well, they feel like real glass, and they're probably not, but they are a lot higher quality than some of the ones that I've seen on the other drones. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I just thought it was kind of strange the way that they charge 180 for a 4-pack. But when it comes to that wide angle lens, it's the 180. So a lot of the stuff still on the DJI site's not there, but they have it here. So I got I ordered the wide angle lens, and it was 120 here. It wasn't 180, so it was just a little bit cheaper here on that. But
Got
yeah,
it.
to answer
Got
your
it.
question, there are, there are a lot of differences here on where the drones are. But the difference is like, they don't want you, flying, within 5 miles from the airport. But besides that, you can pretty much fly anywhere. I mean, the cap here is 300 foot, not 400. And all the airlines and everybody else flies above the 300. So it's a lot more open here than it is in the US on where you can fly. Now, I'm curious to see what my controller says when an aircraft approaches, because it might say ching chong 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 you know, instead of an aircraft approaching. I guess I might have to learn a couple of those words, because as I'm flying, and an airplane's flying to me and it's speaking Thai and it gets me. They say, "Did you hear it?" I'm like, I didn't understand the Thai language, so I'm curious to see how the software works here. But I don't want to take a chance and get it in the air until I have those papers in my hand, because they are really strict about laws here. I mean, you follow the laws or you'll be on every TV in the country.
Boy, they're really busting Johnny up pretty bad here, and Chris
What
and
are they
everybody.
saying?
Oh man, Johnny's like, that ain't right. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that's funny as hell. Yeah. Yeah, it's good to hear Mikey's saying that the weather's going to improve in Chicago area, so that's good to hear. And how's the weather in Louisiana? I know Johnny probably answered my question earlier. I'm sure it's very nice. But you want to get into the Mavic 3? You want to talk about the firmware stuff, the
Yeah,
new
I do want
features?
to ask. I do want to ask first. I know a tornado hit Kentucky,
Oh, I
near
know.
Nashville, near
Yeah.
Tennessee, and they said that it was on the ground for like 400 miles. And I read this morning that one of the factories, they wouldn't let the employees leave during the storm. They're gone. They're all dead. The factory's flattened. So talking about some major lawsuits. So they said that if anybody left before the storm, they were going to lose their jobs. And the tornado hit. And I mean, you can't even tell there's a building. So man, talking about talking about the lawsuits they're going to have.
Oof. Yeah, it's ugly management, well, you know what? I the, I hate to say it this way, but maybe the captain went down with the ship for
Well, there's
poetic
going to be a lot
justice.
more captains going down with that ship. So yeah,
Yeah.
let's get into the Mavic 3 and talk about some of the changes and everything. Now they did just release the new version, version V01.00.0320, and I was really happy when they released this and they did a bulk release where they sent more than one fix out for that. Normally they'll like throw one for this and 3 or 4 days or a week later they'll throw for that. They did a really good job on what they actually sent through on this, and I'm going to let you just go through and read them off, Al, that's on here.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I mean, I think we can break down the update into two different sections. We have features being added. It's just basically somebody reloading your computer and now your camera works. Well, those features are the focus track, which is active track, the next generation after track, and then you got the master shots too, and then you have the time lapse. So those three things were added in the latest release that happened, December 9th, right?
Yep.
But some of the things that also they fixed like one, two, three, four, five, six, seven bugs. Also, they some of the remote controller bugs, some of the USB cable bugs,
Yeah,
and
return to home was one that they
yeah,
did fix. Honestly, on mine now, I didn't notice any changes in the firmware except for it filled in what was missing, like the master shots and the other stuff that wasn't there. That when you clicked on, it said coming soon. So when I bought this and took it up the first time, and I thought, hey, I'm going to do this, and I clicked on it, it said coming soon. I was like, what have I bought? I've got a brick. Where's the software? So the software did help, but one thing that I did notice about the last firmware and the updates I've been having is the smart controller starts up a lot faster than it did when I first got it. It would take like 45 seconds, 55 seconds from start to connect to the craft before it would actually start picking up satellites. And now it's fast. It's probably half the time it was before.
yeah, yeah. And if you want to, I've added a share. If you want to add
Okay.
it, I have it in. There we go. So again, like discussed earlier, the three new features: focus track, master shots, and time lapse. And that's what Robbie was referring to. That when he wanted to do these things, he's like, "Oh my gosh, what did I buy?"
Yeah,
Um,
nothing popped up when you clicked it. It physically said coming soon. It was kind of like the World Drone Community website coming soon. Don't worry, guys. By Christmas, we're up.
Well, one of the things that kind of popped out at me, is a reduced occasional vibration of the aircraft arms in some scenarios. So, when do we see vibration occurring? Mostly when we're coming into our prop wash. As we're descending down, we're pushing air down, but we're also dropping down into that wash. And so, those that's what we see quite a lot when we're FPV flying, because if you drop fast and then womp on a little bit, you're in that dirty air that you created. So I imagine they're probably doing something with the algorithm that allows it to sensitivity coming down. That's interesting to me. Improve RTH, we all know that's probably just, tweaking the GPS signal a little bit and calibrating a little better. Um, Improve obstacle avoidance and performance. Yeah, I mean, that's huge because now that we're going to be doing active tracking, we better have good avoidance. Otherwise, it's going to crash. Something like 80% of the drone crashes are occurred because of some AI feature, some autonomous feature like follow me, whatever, profile mode, and all that. You know what I was thinking, Robbie? I'm thinking I'm going to sell my Skydio 2, okay? And I'm going to sell everything else and just buy the Mavic 3 because it's going to replace my Skydio, to be honest with you. Because what I saw today by reviewing some of the videos that some of the big channels have done and some of your guys' videos that you've done is I'm in. I wasn't sold on it. So I'm probably going to go in there and get Mark Fisher's uh, drone that DJI has probably fixed and sold as renewed, or what would they call it? What did they call it, guys?
Refurbs.
Dead refurb, yes.
Yeah,
So I was thinking about
I was looking for a little bit of video that I took the Sunday before I flew with the Mavic 3. It was windy. I'm going to guess it was 20, 25 plus. And let me see if I can share this. I don't know that I can do it.
all right. I'm gonna kind of tax your brain a little bit. So, have you seen hover stability issues with your Mavic 3 while you're looking for it? You can
Okay.
kind of give us some insight on that, guys. Robbie, have you seen hover stability problems with the Mavic 3 while just sitting in
Not,
front of you?
not
No.
at all.
So that was one of the bug fixes or improvements, I should say, not a bug fix, but they're saying that they fixed the USB connection issues to your computer. So if you guys remember calibrating your Mavic 2, where you had it hooked up to, uh, DJI Assist, and then it told you to point the camera at it because it would pull up that grid, and you point the camera at it, and you turn it sideways, and you turn it sideways again, and you turn it sideways again. And you could not do that if your USB cable was not plugged into the aircraft. So if you had any kind of issues where your camera was a little wonky and you needed to calibrate it again, that's one of the procedures that you use to fix some of those crazy things. Oh, there we go, Robbie. Oh boy, he just dropped. Okay, I have no control. Right, Robbie, jump back in when you get a chance. I think he took himself right out, man. Oh no. Jump back in, Robbie. All right, cancel this function. I'm going to ping him. And I'm going
I'm
to.
here.
Okay, you're back in. Good.
Yep. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to find this because I want y'all to see. I
You
just
had it
back
up
out.
there for a second. I
It was a
got you.
different one. It was a different folder, but let me find it real quick. So I want y'all to see this.
Yeah, not a problem, man. Take your time. Let's see. Uncle Bill Toys is here. Hey, Bill.
221. 0221. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how this is going to play because it's a lot of video, but it was so windy when I took this, but I'm telling you the clarity on this compared to the Air 2S, you could put them side by side and just see the quality difference in between those two.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to fly together, Robbie, because I would definitely love to put the Mavic 2 Pro up at the same time, looking at the same thing with your Mavic 3, and then do the video comparisons that way. But hopefully we'll get to do that someday. I really like that blue Jeep that went by that had the nativity scene on it.
Yeah,
I
they've
thought
got
it
a
was pretty
Jeep
cool.
club here. This is Hendersonville, Tennessee, about 10 minutes outside of downtown Nashville, small community that I grew up in. And they have a huge Jeep club there, the Sumner County Jeep Club. And some of these Jeeps are really, really nice and actually have artwork on the tops and the hoods that have been airbrushed on some really expensive trucks that are in here.
Yeah, and they look like great rock crawlers right there, man. You
Yeah.
are talking about, I mean, crawling up some serious rocks right there. All the Rubicon products are known for being amazing at. Especially if you see the guys that are running winches on the front, like this one here. You know, it's most of those guys are running winches, so you know they're serious about it.
Yeah, there's some really in here. There's some really serious, expensive trucks, Jeeps, and further back. I don't say truck because one day I said, "Wow, nice trucks." They're like, "We don't say truck. This is a Jeep." I was like, "Sorry, didn't mean to offend you there." So they're a little picky. The Jeep owners don't like you to call it a truck.
Yeah, I mean, I've had four Jeeps, and I started with the Cherokee Chief with the 460 in it.
Yeah,
And I'm sorry, not 460. It's a 401. It's a 360 board out to a 401,
yeah,
and I painted it to match by boat. So when you got into the boat, it would go whoom, 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 whoom. And then when I got in my truck to drive away, it would go whoom, 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 whoom. So it was a rig, man. It was nice, painted all red and gray. And then I had a Cherokee, and then I had the Grand Cherokees. Um, wasn't that crazy about the Cherokee because it was a V6, but I really did like my Grand Cherokee because it had the old proven 318 in it, and that
yeah,
engine is bulletproof. Hey, Akarisho, you made it. Thanks for coming by, man.
yeah.
Let's
I'm
see who
impressed
else.
with the drone though. And this is just regular, no zoom, not anything. I mean, I can see all the way down left, all the way down the drag where they first started. This was actually
Yeah,
before it actually started. But yeah,
impressive
I'm
camera, no doubt, no doubt.
well. I feel better now knowing that all the firmware came in and it's there to use because it is. You spin that and then it's kind of like buying a race car and find out you can't drive it on the road.
Oh man, Ray Kelly said he had the World War II MP uh, Jeep in the Army.
Yeah,
I'm
and they
just
had one
kidding.
in this. They had one in here too.
Yeah,
They
yeah. I
had one
mean,
in here.
Jeep was amazing, right? World War II, when that thing broke out in World War II, everybody freaking wanted. All the boys came back looking for Jeeps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they
okay.
really hold their value. The issue in Nashville is my brother just had some issues with his truck, which was like mine now, the one that I restored.
Yeah.
And he was losing pressure in cylinder four. Something was wrong. So we switched out the coil pack, the injector, fuel injector, and the spark plug, and it was still the same thing. And we redid, we plugged the computer and set, and then it said it was number 6 cylinder also. Come to find out that there's more engine problems, so he was going to have to get a new engine. So then I
Oh
said,
no.
David, just buy a truck. The tornado hit. Nobody's got any cars. They bought them off. There's nothing down there. There's nothing to buy. He said to get a used truck, it costs like 16 grand. If you can find one, because people have rushed to grab the automobiles because of the wrecks, the storms. Nobody has any cars. They've blown away. So tell you what, let's get into the controller issue and talk about that.
Can you highlight a couple of the guys? I know
Sure.
one of the guys here is talking at the Mavic 3 taking small little branches, Scraggle taking out Mavic 3. Yeah, it takes out my FPV all day long, man. I hate Scraggle all day long, but yeah, well, it looks like. Um, and let's see, we got a lot of other nice. I just did some Christmas parades with my Jeep Club. Oh, cool! So, Place It Here is talking about just did he took out, which is Ken. Is that right? Yeah, Ken. He said took his Jeep out to the club. Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just can't speak tonight, guys. I don't know what it
No, that's
is.
okay. That's okay. Ray Kelly said we call it the Jeep Patrol. And right, they had a military MP Jeep that was actually in there. Yeah, and yeah, I did see quite a bit of wraps on there, but most of the ones that I've seen, there's a breakfast place in the city, and every Saturday morning, of course, everybody that owns a Jeep goes to this breakfast place. I'd like to own that restaurant because they're there at like 6:30. and there's hundreds and hundreds of people. And every Saturday, this breakfast place serves them breakfast, and they play bingo in the morning for like 5 minutes. They're making a lot from the Jeep community.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have Ken here with Place It Here. I mean, just unbelievable. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, near us, the closest Jeep Club serious rock climbing place is in Charlottesville, Virginia, over by University of Virginia, UVA,
Uh-huh.
and their membership is huge. They have something like 4,000 members. It's crazy. I'm like, where did it all come from? I didn't know, you know, Charlottesville had that many Jeep, but there's this huge membership.
Well, it's a beautiful area too, going up there. Where is the apple orchard? Where Carter's Mountain and all that area? Man, I
Yeah,
love it there.
yeah. As a matter of fact, let's see. I was just let me see if I can find it. I'm not sure. I wanted to share the pictures of where we went. Remember that day we went flying in Skyline Drive,
Oh yeah,
right
yeah,
off
yeah.
off the mountain? Remember that? That
Uh-huh.
was a
Yeah.
really good setup. And I'll dig for those. You
Okay.
continue on. I'll go ahead
Yeah,
and
I want to
find
talk a
that.
little bit about the smart controller issues with the Mavic
Hmm.
3 and the the deal that everybody's talking about that's on it's on B&H, where you're getting the actual new smart controller that runs the Air 2S. Now, I tried to connect my new one to, and it wouldn't work. Mark Fisher's got a friend that actually bought that from B&H. DJI refuses to say that it's possible. And B&H's comment was, "We don't make the crap, we just sell it. We got it from DJI, and it actually works." So it come to find out that it's actually a different firmware on the new controller. So I hope that eventually they fix that from from the new controller here, because I bought the old controller here for my Air 2S, and I'll be honest with you, the screen is a little bit brighter on the new one, which is this one here. But what I do like about that is the original controller, the antennas are like this, where they come up and down. And if you'll notice, the plugs and everything in the front, this is the
Hmm.
original smart controller. This is the new smart controller. So you're coming up here and here, and you can actually move them. They're not connected together. And then you notice that there's no ports on the front. They're actually on the
On
back.
the back, yeah.
So
So
a lot of the original controllers on this had this metal plate that's in there. I'm not crazy about the metal plate. Now I know it's set up for the lanyard, which this lanyard here is the one that I like because it kind of puts everything on your shoulders
yeah, I
when
like that too.
when you're using it, and I do like that. And then it just uses the one there to hold on to it. But for comfort, I bought this one for the new controller, and it's got the screws on it where you just screw them into it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it's super comfortable around your neck when you actually connect it in with here.
Right.
And I do like that.
Do you like that better?
Uh, I like this for the fact that it takes all the pressure off of directly the neck, and it gives you more support. And a lot of people use this on the Phantoms, but
Yeah.
this is comfortable to the neck. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword on which one you want. I mean, of course, this one hooks up quicker, but a lot of people buy the cases to put the smart controllers in, and there's not a lot of extra room on the back side where this gimbal plate is.
Yeah, there isn't really, but sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah, I have a few, Bob. I have a few accessories. I got to show you on my new one that I really like. I've always, and Al will tell you, when I first met Al, I'm like a diehard Dell guy. If Dell made a scooter, I'd buy it. I mean, I like Dell products because anytime I've had an issue with anything, they're like, it's in the mail. I mean, they just mail it to you. One time I called about getting a replacement battery before traveling overseas. And I was trying to tell them that, hey, I'm going overseas. If my battery goes bad, and the guy on the other end, I guess his English wasn't good. He's like, no worry, Mr. Gray. He sent me a new battery. I mean, and then hung up. So they're really good. Dell is really, really good about doing that. So I had two 27-inch flat panels that I sold before I left. And I like the duals because, I can edit and look at my video at the same time, or I can set it up on the right to watch you guys and then put the live stream software on the other one. But the hassle with all the movement, the motion, and everything else. So I'll turn my camera around and show what I bought here. This is the Odyssey G9. It's a 49-inch flat panel.
Yeah, we saw that you posted it on Facebook. It looked great.
Yeah, you can actually get this from Amazon. Now, I'm not sure. I haven't checked the price of what it is here. It's $2,000 here, but it's a 5K monitor. So it's like crystal, more than crystal clear. So when you actually open up something, like let's say I open up, get my mouse to work over here. Well, forget it. I'm not going to do it. I was going to open Premiere, but I don't want to take any more power. The timeline is huge. So anybody using Premiere, knowing how you got to drag the timeline to get to the end of it, it's actually in one screen. So I really like that. So I've got to get some shelving set up here to hold my stuff because I've got like smart controllers here, all my batteries set up here, my new Action, the DJI Action, which I love this. Now, I did a firmware update on this, and I don't have any overheating problems.
Oh, good.
So if you read about this having overheating problems, evidently the firmware has fixed it because I don't have any more issues with it at all.
Wow, that's awesome. That video that is just unbelievably nice. Super nice. I want to show you how messy my desk is. Oh my gosh. Watch this. Oh man. Oh boy. You see that? It's just a train wreck, man. I mean, this poor guy is being serviced.
Uh-oh. You know what? I think that thing is hurt so bad you need a doc to fix it.
I've revived this thing many a times, man. This is my little guy, and I just love it. I just got new 4-inch frames, got some new props, so ready for the next build. And I just got my flight controller. So this is what my desk looked like, guys. This is my project. So, oops.
Well,
That's
sorry,
this is what my desk
looks like. The video, but for some reason it keeps giving it to me.
There it is. That's what I sit in front of, kind of my lab bench. And then there's where I do most of my communications. But, you'll see that I still have quads everywhere.
Poor Julie. Julie don't even have a desk now. I'm going to send her another desk.
Oh, no, I set her up upstairs, even easier for her, so she doesn't have to put up with me. So, Robbie, we're good friends, and you know that her and I share an office, and a lot of my friends that go, how do you share an office with your wife? I'm like, right here, next to each other.
Julie's laid back. Julie's different than a lot of women. Julie is like laid back, get stuff done, very driven person. And, I don't know how the hell she ended up with Al.
I don't know, man, but I'm married. I know I'm married up.
Let me tell you, my friend, you married up.
I'm married up. I agree. Let me see. Can you share this? Did I share that? I don't know. Stop sharing. Okay. This is where we flew at. If you could share it, Robbie. I don't know if you can or not.
Yeah, I can.
This is where we went flying that weekend. Nice place. Look at
It
that
was
mountain.
really, really pretty. This was the day that we went to the park too, right? The national park.
Yeah. And down here, right down here somewhere, there's a brewery you can stop by there. And it's Blue Ridge Mountain Brewery, I think it is. And it's just unbelievable. Some of the fauna. And then I'm standing right here checking it
Yeah.
out. Um, yeah, so it's just beautiful as heck in that area. Let's see, what else did we do? Yeah, we went on the backside and looked at the valley. Remember, we ended up kind of getting lost a little bit in the
Well,
mountains.
you
We were
remember we
down,
went and flew. We flew from that hotel up on that bridge that nobody was in. Remember?
yeah, it's still abandoned, uh, sort of abandoned. There's cars everywhere, so I think they still, the owner
You
probably
know,
lives there.
that
Yeah,
could
probably.
be Al. That could be a winter thing. That could be dead because it's not winter. Maybe in the winter they get skiers or something up there.
Yeah, I mean, Wintergreen is there, or Nafta
Yeah.
Mountains, right? So, yeah, so yeah, you can. I'll stop sharing, so good folks don't have to put up with our pictures. But
Everybody
yeah,
hit
that
that
was a
like
good time.
button. Hit that like button so we get some likes. And I want to thank everybody. The last couple of weeks, me and Al have kind of been, busy, especially me with trying to get ready. And, Al luckily filled in for me when I was on the plane. And, I've not had a lot of guests myself when I jump in like tonight with just Al. So starting next Monday, we'll have some new guests in and get back on the track of what's going on and be more drone related than just, hey, you know, who's getting the backside of the doctor's view and all that other stuff. That way we can get back into the drone part of what's going on. I'm really eager to see. Christmas is coming up. What's on everybody's Christmas list for what they're going to get? I'm happy with the drone, and I will tell you, most of the drone stuff that I bought has always been, and I'll tell you, it's secondhand. I've never bought really anything new. I did buy I take that back. I bought my
Air
Air
two,
2, my
yeah.
Air 2S. I bought from Third Eye View, bought it from Rod, and it was like brand new when I got it. You couldn't even tell. He really takes care of his stuff really well, so it was like new. So for me to invest in something like this was just invest in something that I know that it's not going to be outdated for quite a while, and I can learn from because where I was before, I left here to come back to the U.S. when I met Al. I had sold my home, which was not too far from where Al was before I left the U.S.
Mhm.
So it was kind of like going back, but I wasn't going back to a home. I actually went back thinking I was going to hang out with my sister for a month and visit my family. And I was there for like 15 months or 16 months and then went down to Nashville to visit with my brother a couple of months before I came. So, when you sell your cars and your homes and everything else and you travel overseas, question yourself because I wished I would have put someone in my house and left it there because had I known I was going to be there for 20 minutes, 20 months, I could have at least lived in my own home. So it's been rough to have an area to do my YouTube videos and stuff like that. But now with the time change and everything else, me being here, the phone's not ringing all the time. Now I have the proper equipment to actually make some videos with. So it's going to be a learning process, but I'm excited to be able to do that. So it says
Yeah.
right here, Third Eye View says he already got his. He got my Express. He got a Parrot Bebop too.
Oh, so Brad is saying here too that he wants the Phantom 4 Pro for Christmas.
Well, I've got a question
Yeah.
because
Okay, Brad, I got it.
you have the four. Don't you have
Well,
the four?
yeah, well, I bought it secondhand from one of my neighbors that also has the Mavic 2 Pro.
How does
Okay,
it fly?
so we fly right next to each other. He's got a Mavic 2 Pro and I got a Mavic 2 Pro, and
Right.
he just parked his. Let's see, yeah, back there is that Phantom 4, and I told Brad, I said, I was at a party and we are doing the neighborly thing, having a few cocktails, and he said, "Man, you ought to offer me something. I'll give it to you for a song." I'm
That's the
like, "What
same
does
guy who
that
told me
mean?"
about.
And I was like, "What does that mean?" So I conferred with you and Brad, saying, "What does that mean? I don't want to insult them by not offering enough for it." And being neighbors, you want to be fair, and because you're going to be running into all the time, right? So I ended up picking it up, and Brady goes, "If you don't pick it up, I have the money in my wallet right now." So I was like, "Oh man!"
The
And I got to
pressure's
be
on.
honest with you, I only flown it twice. I haven't even put out a video on it, so but I need to do it. And
How does
then
it fly? How does it fly compared to the Mavic series that's thin and flat? Because the one thing that I noticed, and keep in mind, I had the standard uh, number, the 3, the standard. So it wasn't like as nice as those are.
yeah,
I got a lot of wind shear on that because it's like a flying trash can.
yeah, this one is a lot better. It's got stronger motors, got better sensors, and it's got a better camera. And so it's just a whole lot better product. It was That's a step up, huge step up in the camera. It
Especially
gives
in the
you,
camera, because it's just
yeah.
the standard just has a 2.7. Drones Views Media says I was thinking about buying myself a Triple Tech 2, the tablet. Now I'll tell you, you guys know I bought one and I sent it back, and I'll tell you my issues and why I sent it back. I love the
Ooh,
tablet because man, it was heavy duty. It looked good. It was bright. But the issue is the mounts that actually hold that to the controllers, the arms that stick out where it grabs it, they're only like a little bit over a quarter-inch long. And the Triple Tech is a pretty thick tablet, so it's not real sturdy on getting it hooked on. DJI does have one that wraps around the controller, but then you're still in the same issue with the pincher part is not very long. That was my first complaint. And during our auction, we had someone that was selling a Mavic Air 2S and a smart controller. So I picked this smart controller up for $500.
that's a deal.
So after
Yeah.
I got it and realized, getting ready to fly the drone, to hook the tablet up, wrap the thing around the controller, because you can't put it in a bag when it's together because it's so big. And after that, and realized all I got to do is hit a button and go fly, I just went ahead and sent back the tablet because of that. And I paid 700 and 740, 780 for the tablet. So keep that in mind before you invest that much. Because if you look around and get a smart controller, it's still plenty bright, compared to the Triple Tech.
So it looks like Bill from Coast to Coast is here also. Welcome. Thanks for joining. We also have had a couple other people pop in here, and I must say,
Greg
thanks for
Pittman's got
joining.
on here. Get Ken Dobos mount. Keep this in mind. If you get the Triple Tech, you got to get the 8-inch, because Ken doesn't make a 7-inch, and I had the 7. He doesn't make a mount for the 7-inch. So if you're going to get one, get the 8-inch, because it's the only thing. It's $17 on his website.
Wow, that's pretty good, man.
Yeah, it's a good price. Really, really is.
Yeah, I mean, really a price, but not Taiwan or Thailand prices.
Yeah, well, it's funny though, because
You ever
a lot
say,
of people.
sorry, go ahead. My
Okay,
apology.
one thing I've noticed here about stuff, and I noticed the same thing in Costa Rica. A 24-inch flat panel monitor in Costa Rica cost about $600. You get it for $100 in the U.S. And here's the issue, and why I'm talking about Costa Rica compared to U.S. It's not assembled in Costa Rica; it's in U.S. Same thing here. The Dell products are made here, but they're not assembled here. And because they're assembled in the U.S. and have to be shipped back overseas, it really increases the price. I just bought a new Dell for my fiance's daughter, and it was an i5 processor. I paid $1,000 for that laptop. I should have my head examined, but it's what they had here.
Yeah.
It's what they had here, because I could have got like an i7 processor in the U.S. for like 800, but it's just what they have here. So, but accessories in general, like if you're getting a battery, because the batteries are made and assembled here. If you're getting SD cards, ND filters, props, any individual part that you can put on yourself, You're going to save a lot of money, and you can actually go to a website called Lazada Thailand and go to that website and translate it to English, and you can look at all the products that Amazon has, because all those people that are selling on Amazon, they're from over here. They make the stuff over here. So you can actually see what they sell it for compared to what it sells for in the US. And you'd be surprised. Now, keep in mind, there is a shipping cost, but it ain't that expensive. Excuse my English, but it's not that much of a difference to get stuff shipped. It takes a while to do it, but the price you save on getting stuff. So the accessories are cheaper. All the stuff for the controllers, the pinchers, the chargers, and all that, you get it for a fraction of the cost of buying it from the U.S. Same product. It's just being shipped there and marked up. When I bought this monitor, I found it $300 less online here. And when the guy came to install it, he spent an hour trying to connect it. And I was thinking, oh God, I just spent $2,000 and the monitor won't work with my new laptop. So after looking around, I realized that he didn't have the refresh set right. So once we hit the right refresh with the HDMI cable, it came on. And then I was thinking, you know what? It's worth the extra $300, because they actually physically brought it. This chair, everybody's seen this chair at Office Max. It's $199. It's big. It's a big chair.
Costco sells it too.
$64 delivered by two people, assembled and put in the house.
Well, labor is a little bit cheaper there, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. So to be able to buy everything, now if I can just come up with a way that when you buy a Samsung TV and you buy the mount that goes on the wall, I was trying to explain to Pamika that the mount is made for the inch of the TV, not the manufacturer. The screws don't fit in the back of the TV. So we've spent 2 nights going to the local, quote, Home Depot to get the right size bolts from all the reviews. None of the bolts will fit. So today, my friend is going to take the TV with him to the hardware store, and hopefully by tonight, I have a working TV, because I've been installing LED light strips, lights in the rooms, and everything else, and it's been a project.
Have you seen what Ray Kelly's telling Alan? And Ray Kelly always does a good job with those little emojis. You know what I mean? The laugh. He's got the Christmas one there going in. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. Oh, talking about holidays, how you been doing with Christmas shopping? Does Pamika celebrate Christmas?
Well, that's it's really funny, because a lot of people over here are Buddhists. They're not Christians, which it's really funny because when we had first met, she said, I got a question. And she goes, but I've never really wanted to ask an American or a foreigner. She said, if there's really a God, how come you can't see him? How can you believe in something that you can't see? So I told her,
love?
I told her, I was like, do you love your mom? And she said, yeah. And I said, how do I know it? Is it a wireless signal that I'm supposed to? I don't know if you love your mom. And she's like, well, you can feel it here. And I was like, well, that's how we know there's a God.
How about trust?
Yeah, it was really hard.
Yeah.
It was really hard to explain that process on how it works. But she, for all of y'all that don't know, I got engaged when I was here. We're going to be married next month. I'm waiting on the paperwork now that's been filled out to get the stuff going. Al knows her personally. She's got great English, master's in finance. She works for the government here. She's been with the same job for 21 years. She retires in 4 years. And at that point, we'll be coming back to the U.S. and living there 6 months and living here 6 months. But coming here to do some business on my end and some stuff for me and Al, for World Drone Community, to have some stuff manufactured, learn how some of these machines work that make stuff. So when I come back and have some machines, we can actually have something set up in the U.S. and actually provide jobs for us and some American jobs, not over here, because I do have employees over here also. But it's a learning phase. They know how to make all this stuff. World Drone Community makes shirts. We do embroidery and all that. All the machinery comes from here, and they're the masters over here on how this stuff works. So I'm really eager to learn more from them on how the stuff works. So when I get back to the States, I can actually use that. And for all you people out there that have been divorced, you always say you'll never do it again. But as the old country song says, why did you move? There was a woman. So I had already planned on coming here and actually had met her. But, I'm really excited. It's nice to be able to come into a country and be so welcome. The country's, it's really nice. I mean, a lot of you guys have watched movies like The Hangovers and see the red light zones. They're everywhere. It's like Vegas, but not in the areas that we live in. And the service here, I'll say, is hands down. You go into an expensive area in the U.S., yes, you're going to get service, but you're going to pay arm and a leg. Here, the service is like, when I went to buy my desk, I was looking for a nice desk. And of course, these people are smaller than we are. They're not as tall as we are. So it looked like that I had taken the desk from when I was in the 7th grade. It's like this narrow. So we go to a commercial shop and I look at this huge desk that's got this table. And I told the guy, I want the board off the top of the table. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, I need to make a desk. So I actually bought a filing cabinet for the right side. And I bought a safe to keep all my goods in on the left side. They're 29 inches. And then I put the top on the top and it's deep. That way I can use it for videos. I can work, do everything from here. And they were amazed that I was buying the desk for the tabletop. But it was the only piece of wood that was finished that looked good. And I paid... for the desk, I paid $125 for the piece of wood. I can't hear you, Al. You're muted. I didn't do it.
I
did. Did you mute Al? That's a joke. That's a joke. Hey, I'm still kicking for that damn drone lamp. I ain't giving up yet because the drone lamp enthusiast will be visiting your channel.
So let's see. Third Eye View says he doesn't like the Nebula Nano. I believe I would not either. The sensor's so small on that Nano, but the Nebula Pro, I like. Me gusta mucho el Nebula Pro.
Okay, Al, I need a course here.
All right, what you got? Okay, you got the Pocket.
Okay, now question. When I start this thing up, we're going to do a class real quick since, it is our channel. Okay. How do I know that is like, how do I get it to follow me? Like if she's filming or is it just film? Because see, it's got you on there when I'm trying to move. It's following you or following the screen. See it moving?
Yeah.
But normally, like when I'm walking around and I want to film over here, does it just zoom in on something particular?
It has to have a facial track.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not like the drones where it just does the contrast space, but it does the eye contrast space.
Right. It's not like this one that I have to manually move. It actually...
It follows you like a cameraman. Yeah, it's a cameraman. Yeah, so first you got to put it on that facial track thing, and then you have to double click on the face, and it should give you a green rubber band around the figure you're tracking.
Well, that's going to be this week's project, and then when you buy the GoPros, how you get the 44 pieces in the black bag, like the one you gave me. I always throw away the one for the scooter, but I want to get one. Because I want to be able to put this on there and drive on the little motorcycle.
Yeah. Why not?
Catch the video. And hey, for all you motorcycle users, I may have a question next time. I bought a scooter for my girlfriend and fiance now. Let me get that straight. And let me tell you, I think it's a Honda. It's a little Honda. It's yellow. I paid $1,300 for it.
Oh, man.
Brand new. Pull the plastic off. Everything was good. And when I was in there, they had full-size motorcycles like the Ninjas and the other stuff, which I don't want. But they had like some of the older motorcycles that look like the Harleys, not with the big seats, but just the basic bike. Well, they're painting them in matte finish now. So for $3,000, I can get a brand new motorcycle, everything, insurance, tax, title for $3,000. So I
That's
told Monica
crazy.
I really wanted to get it instead of the scooter, but I knew she couldn't ride it. So I hit a speed bump on the scooter the other day and it bottomed out. And I said,
Oh,
honey, I'm too fat for the scooter. I said, and this is, I don't want to damage your motorcycle. So I'm going to let you keep this one. And I'm just going to have to get a new motorcycle. She told me this morning, yeah, you need one. So this weekend, I'm probably going to go out and I only use it for leaving the private subdivision that we live in to go to the
yeah.
flea market across the street that has food. But I don't want to ride the little scooter with her. And hey, there's some roads that I can drive around on and enjoy. And I know how to ride a motorcycle. I mean, I know how to use the clutch and everything. But I'm a little excited to be able to get it and not hear you're gonna get killed, you're gonna have a wreck, which she did tell me, and it is bad. A lot of people do get killed here, but I'm not going to take it on the road. I'm just going to use it on like the back roads.
Well, why don't you go ahead and do that? We'd love to see a video of that. The Mavic 3, now that it has after track or focus
Yeah,
track is what they're calling it, follow you in there. And the other beautiful thing about the new feature is that you can now do like the Skydio 2, you can tell it to follow you in a position of location. So it could be on your sixes or it could be
right.
in your 12s or your threes or nines, right? The only thing that I see this Skydio 2 being better at is while it's following you, it will also circle you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we
And
can
then
do
you can just
that.
hit a
I can do
button.
that. I'll do
Yeah.
that, and then you can compare that side by side to when you track me on your bicycle.
That was
I
another good trick.
busted my butt on that. I was trying to ride a wheelie and pull up on it. It's a full size bike, and I
Yeah.
pulled up a little too high. And of course, it's got that free wheel backwards. Well, when I pulled up on it, I don't know. I think the chain or something. Remember Al, the chain? Something went wrong, and I had a wreck on Al's bike, and I busted up my knee pretty good. And I blew it off in the video, and you couldn't tell it much, but it hurt like hell.
Oh, it had to hurt, it hurt like hell. I'm gonna see if I
Well, it was
can
hot.
find it.
It was
What was
hot.
the name of that? That was the Femi Mini. No, that was the Femi file. And that they don't call it active track. They call it, oh, I forget now, smart track. Femi smart track. And I'm looking in my archives here and see if I can find it. Crap. No, didn't find it there. I'm just gonna see if I can just find it on the whole drive because remember, man, we had a really long day that day. We went to what
Remember,
five?
it was the day that was so hot. It was really, really hot that day that we went out because it was over by the cemetery. It was by the cemetery. I remember.
Oh yeah, we were in Riverview Cemetery, not Hollywood. We're at yeah. Well, I don't seem to find it on this drive. Let me see if I can find it on this drive. Okay.
It was so funny because I put it on Facebook and posted it, and had so many people that said, "Oh, did it embarrass you?" I said, "Well, it was embarrassing, but it was so funny. I just had to show it."
Oh yeah, it was. I, it was. It was definitely a surprise, right? Because that
Yeah,
chain slipped off because um, it was just I don't know. It was right between gears. My derailleur's not working very well,
yeah.
and so I got stuck between the two gears and in the tire gears or as your back wheel, and yeah, and you ended up biting the dust because as you were pulling the wheelie, you had nothing to
Yeah, I pushed
keep you
it. I
rolling.
pushed it when I went. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was a little bit of a challenge. Well, unfortunately, I can't seem to get my fingertips on it.
We'll find it and we'll play it. We'll play it next Monday night, and we're gonna have a guest. I'm not gonna tell you who it is yet, but I do have my guest ready for next Monday, and we're gonna make some changes. And spoof things up a little bit now. I have a little bit more desk time to actually get in here and get the stuff done. We're going to push out the rest of the stuff we need to do to finish World Drone Community. I'm going to reach out to a couple of you guys that I've got set up to write some articles within the next week and a half, week to week and a half, just for a basic article for your profiles. So the people that have been asked to be contributors, we're going to ask a couple extras that are in here. And when we get done, we're going to give you your own page, which will actually have your channel's name, all your social media links. That way, if people want to know a little bit more about you, you can send them over to World Drone Community, and they can click on your profile and read the profile, and then also sub to your channel on the same site. So, Al, what else you got going on here? We're running a little bit over tonight. We need to finish her up.
I've had a wonderful time hanging out, chatting. I really don't have a whole lot. I do have two 4-inch builds next, and I'm looking forward to that because I'm going to be using the 3.5-inch props from Emax. I'm not sure if you can see them. For that, I just got them in, so I have all the pieces of the puzzle here, 4-inch build, and it's just kind of because this is falling apart on me. I'm having to fix it probably every other week. And so I might just take the Cadec Vista with the Nebula Pro camera here and move it to that 4-inch build. So that's all I have going. I've kind of been running into one of those creator blocks that everybody runs into. I just have not been into making videos. I got a bunch of emails say, hey, you know what? We got some drones here. We want you to review. And I haven't even replied, but I'm starting to get motivated again. So that's where I'm at, guys. Keep urging me, help me out to get going on creating. I know you got some new energy, Robbie, because your new equipment you've been getting. So I am looking forward to see what you produce.
Yeah, I'm going to ask everybody in the chat. In the U.S. right now, there's such a shortage on different things like chips, and a lot of the companies that are making the shirts and hats and patches and stuff like that, it's like honestly they're like limited to what they have in stock right now. So we're going to be shipping off some products from overseas here over to the U.S. to make more stuff for World Drone Community, shirts, hats, patches, and stuff like that. What I'd like to get is I'd like to know out of the normal viewers and even the newer viewers that are in here, if y'all can email World Drone Community your name and also send your shirt size, because that's going to help me determine how much inventory to buy size-wise. I think they're running a little bit. Johnny, would you say that the short sleeve shirts are running just a little big? Because I know Johnny's bought quite a few of them. Not real big, but just a little bit. So we definitely, if y'all can just email, just put your name and then what size shirt you have, because I'm going to go through there and look and see and send a couple hundred of each size. Yeah, okay, yeah, Johnny said it's a little bit large, but they're comfortable. So we're going to do we're going to do some poly blends, some cotton, and we're going to do some long sleeve. And matter of fact, hey guys, when y'all put in your size, let me know the state you live in, because like when I sent Al his shirt, he lives in a cold area, so I sent him a long one right now. So let me know what area you're in. So when we do giveaways and stuff, it helps me be able to pull from the inventory, because with me being here, the inventory is going to be at Al's in Tennessee at my brother's, and they're going to have to send that stuff to you. So I want to make sure that we have what y'all need when we send the stuff out.
So we have good prayers coming your way, Johnny, and good vibe, good juju coming your way, because I know you're having a procedure. I'm probably close behind you on that one. Yeah, and the auto fill kind of screwed me up here, so I apologize for that, Johnny and John, because it filled in John Bonifant instead of Johnny. Apologies to both of you for that mistake.
Yeah, we had a good crew. Everybody hit that thumbs up. We need it. We're going to
Yep.
get back on track now, start being on time. And next time I won't drag you over 10 minutes, but that's okay. I gave Ray got an extra 10. I'll always let you know, Ray, if I'm going to be late. And with my time now, like I said, it's going to enable me to be in more of the live streams and kind of get caught up of what's being out. To let y'all know, I did meet with DJI the day that I arrived and talked to the dealer. And on the next show, I'm going to share some of the stuff that they shared with me. They actually have 6 companies that they work with here in Thailand that DJI is actually partners with, and they teach courses on thermal photography and other things. You can actually take these courses and get DJI certifications for these. And I would say sooner or later they probably do it in the U.S. and I'm sure they'll offer it at some point. But it would be really good for some of y'all that are going out trying to get some kind of work, because there you just need a 107 and you can kind of do what you want to do. Here, in order to do work, you actually have to have a license for what you're doing the work for, whether it's real estate, roofing or something like that. So I'll keep y'all updated on what that is. And if I can get some documentation, let's look at it. So if it ever hits the US, and then other than that, the last thing I'm going to say is when this 4G dongle gets out, I'm going to put it on my drone and fly it because they're going to release it here. And then I'll tell you what it's like. And then we'll send one to the US and see if y'all can throw it on there and see if it'll actually work. Just for curiosity, I want to know if it'll work.
Well, thank you, Greg. He's saying very good show tonight. We have Idaho Quadcopters join us. Marcus is here in the house, guys. So I want to wish everybody a great week. Thanks for dropping by, guys. Robbie, any party words?
Nope, I got that. Guys, we will see you next Monday night at the same time with more good information and hopefully a nice guest. We'll wait and see. See you guys Monday night.
Bye-bye, guys.